A modern automobile is a masterpiece of complex engineering. Whether you're driving a sleek, streamlined convertible or a well-weathered car of ancient vintage, you have control of tremendous power. Power exactingly coordinated to respond to the least pressure on the controls. In fact, the engineering in today's cars is so complex that many drivers aren't concerned with why or how a car operates, just as long as it does operate and gets them where they want to go. They just want efficient transportation without having to bother too much about taking care of the car. And yet, each time you drive, you're trusting your life and the lives of those with you to the safe performance of your car. So naturally, it makes sense to take good care of your car, to keep it in tip-top operating condition. The kind of preventive maintenance that ensures good performance calls for a regular check on these items: gasoline, oil, the battery, the cooling system, lights, tires, lubrication, and brakes. Each of these can be checked and serviced at gas stations and garages specializing in your make of car. However, some of these items require more frequent attention than others. The engine oil, the cooling system, the battery, all tires and lights should be checked whenever you stop for gas. And it's a good idea to have the gas tank filled whenever your fuel gauge drops to the quarter full mark. Plenty of gas and a frequent check of the oil, water, and tires will help prevent a breakdown when you're out on the road. In fact, the importance of properly circulating oil in the engine bearings can't be stressed too much. Nothing can do more damage to an engine than a drop in oil pressure. Always look at the stick gauge yourself to make sure the oil is clean and up to the proper level. And it's a good idea each time you stop to have the battery checked, to make sure the water in each cell is at the right level. The cooling system should also be checked every time you stop at a gas station. Keep plenty of clean water in the radiator. And don't forget, if you live in a colder climate, that when winter temperatures begin to fall toward the freezing mark, it's time to put a solution of antifreeze in the radiator. This antifreeze should be tested frequently throughout the winter. And in the spring, the radiator drained and flushed before clean water is put in. And don't neglect to have your windshield, headlights, and tail lights cleaned. Dirt on the windshield can often interfere with a clear view of the road ahead. And at night, of course, it's mighty important to have bright, clear headlights so you have maximum visibility. It's a fact that dirt on the lenses can often reduce the amount of light by 1/3. So keep your lights clean. And to be certain they're properly focused, have them inspected and adjusted at regular intervals. And always replace a burned-out light immediately. Comfort and safety in driving depend a great deal upon proper care of the tires. Modern low-pressure tires must carry the correct amount of air at all times to avoid the damage which can result from under or overinflation. The air pressure in your tires should be checked each time you stop for gas. And don't forget the spare tire. You may not need it, but it's best to be prepared. Oil, water, lights, tires, and battery. Have these items checked every time you stop for gas. It may take a few extra minutes, but it's worth it in keeping the car in good operating condition. A car should be lubricated, that is, greased, at least once a month or once every 1,000 miles you drive. You can have the car greased at many gas stations or take it to a service garage that specializes in your make of car. Without doubt, proper lubrication is the one maintenance item most neglected by the average driver. Good lubrication at regular intervals helps prolong car life and provides a quieter, more comfortable ride. Automobile manufacturers make up a complete lubrication chart for each model of car they produce. These charts tell the mechanics the main points that need regular lubrication, as well as other parts of the car that need attention perhaps only once or twice a year. You should look in the owner's manual for information about these special points. For instance, after a certain number of miles, wheels need to be repacked with grease and the fluid in the steering column checked. And there are other items, like the rear axle, that require only periodic inspection and greasing. If you take your car to the same place each time you have it greased, the servicemen will help you keep track of these important points. The dirty oil in the crankcase should be drained at regular intervals and replaced with clean oil of the right weight, light for cold weather or heavy for warm weather. One of the most important points in good car maintenance is keep plenty of oil in the engine and crankcase. About twice a year, the spark plugs should be cleaned and tested. If the points are not set right or are clogged with oil and carbon, your engine won't be able to give top-notch performance. Remember to take your car to a garage or service station at regular intervals for lubrication and an oil change. Proper attention to these important maintenance items will pay off in better car performance and a smoother, more comfortable ride. And whenever you're out driving, you can keep check on the condition of the engine by glancing occasionally at the gauges on the dash panel. Watch particularly for the danger signs of changing oil pressure and a rise in engine temperature. As long as the gauges register normal, the needle pointing near the middle of each dial, the oil is circulating properly in the engine. And check the ammeter once in a while to make sure that the battery is charging as you drive. If the needle shows discharge, have a mechanic examine the battery and wiring for possible trouble. And pay close attention to the road as you drive. If you drive carefully and take proper care of your tires, they'll be good for many thousands of miles of trouble-free transportation. Try to avoid running over rocks, curbs, or holes in the street. Any sharp bend in the tire casing can break the cords and ruin the tire. And every 5,000 miles, have the tires rotated so that you can make use of the spare and get even more wear on all the tires. After the tires have been rotated, to avoid too much wear on the tires, have the wheel balance and alignment checked to make sure that your wheels are not out of line. Another factor in good car maintenance, and one that can help prolong tire life, is proper care of the brakes. If the brake pedal has to be pushed all the way to the floorboard, or if there's an unequal brake grab, which pulls the car to one side or the other, have the brakes adjusted immediately. Don't wait for the warning signs, however. Be sure your brakes are given regular inspections every few months. To keep your car in good condition, plan an efficient schedule of checkups and inspections. For instance, every time you stop for gas, have the oil, water, battery, and tires checked and all the lights cleaned. At each monthly lubrication job, have the oil changed. And at least twice a year, have the brakes, lights, and spark plugs inspected and the wheel balance and alignment checked. Look in your owner's manual to find out about the other parts that require attention from time to time. And don't neglect the finish on the car. It's more than just a color. The paint protects the metal underneath. Wash your car at least once a week and apply a protective coat of wax occasionally. Any bumps or scratches should be repaired as soon as possible. This kind of preventive maintenance will keep the car in excellent operating condition. It ensures longer and safer car life and also means more economy of operation. And don't forget, the same care you give the maintenance of your car should be exercised in driving it. Drive at safe speeds, obey traffic rules, and share the road with others. Don't be a wise guy on the highway, a show-off, who makes quick stops, rapid starts, and fast turns. Drivers like this don't understand that cars are built for safe, efficient transportation, not a joyride to disaster. You'll get thousands of miles of safe, comfortable driving if you remember to take good care of your car. But more important, you're trusting your life and the lives of those with you to the car. Give it a square deal so it can give you a safe deal.